A client asks, what does the void, the chaos, and the ease and grace timelines mean, and what are their differences?
Yes, dear one. The void timeline is an experience of journeying into the unknown at the soul level as well as at the human level. This experience of being in the unknown, feeling a sense of lack of direction. While the human experience is always a journey into the unknown, the void timeline would be an amplification of this. Feeling it to the core, so to speak. Feeling the lack of direction or knowing what to do or create next. It is an opportunity for mastery at the human level, to gain more mastery with staying centered while moving and navigating through unknown territory, so to speak. The chaos timeline is another opportunity for mastery, to stay centered within the heart, to stay centered within love while chaos surrounds. As you have noticed on your planet Earth, as the light illuminates the shadow, much chaos is revealed. The chaos timeline specifically is an amplification of this. For some souls needed to experience a level of chaos that would challenge or bring them opportunity to be in their mastery of staying centered within their heart. These two timelines were made more available between your equinox, between the eclipse and your equinox in August and September of 2017. Most are now back functioning on the ease and grace timeline, which is the main timeline that is created to allow for a gentle, easy journey on the ascension path. Now, when I say gentle and easy, it is what is most possible for gentleness and ease. It does not mean that everything is always smooth or easy. There is an understanding that is important for humans to understand, that these timelines are created by humans at the soul level. It is not an orchestration by some hierarchy or some beings out there. It is the humans that are creating these timelines. And so there will be times when there are splits, such as you experienced with the eclipse energies, where some souls opt to jump to a different timeline, either for their mastery, for their growth, or for their evolution.
The client asks, how many beings of the 7 billion people on Earth are serving the dark?
This is a question that depends upon your understanding and perspective. As I have mentioned in previous conversations, all is contained within the light. And so in this way, all beings are serving the light, even though they are playing a shadow role. But in the understanding of the spirit of how you ask the question, there are about 100,000 that are dedicated and knowingly serving the shadow full on.
So, for example, the Rothchilds and other families belong to this group serving the dark. Is this correct?
Yes, dear one.
A client asks, does telling the people on Earth of the Cabal's dividing plan help Gaia with Ascension?
Yes, dear one, anything that illuminates the shadow is assisting Gaia with her ascension.
A client asks, is it correct that the Anunnaki performed experiments with humans' genetics and through that they made gold mining slaves?
There is some truth to this in physicality. However, the greater truth is the metaphor of being a slave and how you as humans perceive gold as something precious and something of high value. Setting up the programming and the understanding that gold is something of high value. This serves as a metaphor for how humanity has become enslaved to what is perceived to be valuable, rather than focusing their light and their creations on what is of true value, and that is the journey of the soul, the journey of the heart, the journey of humanity towards the light.
A client asks, in a written Sananda channeling, it says the Anunnaki enslaved humans to mine gold, and this gold was used to protect Nibiru and its atmosphere. Is this true?
There are some layers of convolution to this story. Again, the metaphor of how the Anunnaki caused distraction from the true value and offered programming to enslave humanity, to distract from their true value and worth. The gold has less to do with Nibiru and more to do with giving the Anunnaki a false sense of power, a false sense of worth. As I conveyed, there are many layers of convolution regarding this story. The truth is found more in metaphorical form than actual physicality, meaning that the events that were told were not all real physical events. They are more mythical, I will say, to convey the metaphor.
A client asks, you said some people who watch these channeling videos are soul family. Are they from the same monad or oversoul?
Yes, dear one. There are many gathered to this YouTube channel that belong in the same monad. You are family indeed. Yes, there are intruders, so to speak, that like to come in and taste the energy. And then there is a group that is like a solid core that is resonating with these messages. And in listening to the messages, the light network amongst these souls is strengthened. It is beautiful from this perspective, dear one.
A client asks, are people able to switch timelines at all points of time, or is there a point in time after which switching is not possible?
Yes, dear one. First, an understanding that everything and anything is possible. And yet, there is also an understanding for those souls who are serving the shadow, whether consciously or unconsciously. The deeper into their commitment to serve the shadow, the harder it is to extricate themselves from this type of matrix and to jump to a timeline of light. Now, some beings do experience those sudden awakenings. They experience a sudden conscious awareness of what they are doing, and they make a choice to change tracks, to change timelines, and to serve the light. This is not so common, but when this happens, these beings do set templates for other beings serving the shadow, making it more possible for them to awaken and to choose service to the light. So it is possible at any point for a being to change timelines and to begin to serve the light. But the deeper they go into serving the shadow, for most of these beings, it does become more difficult to change timelines and begin service to the light in this way.
A client asks, is the dividing of souls managed by some souls staying at the surface of the planet and other souls going to underground Cabal facilities?
This is what would be a worst case scenario, so to speak. For with the ease and grace timeline, there are many alignments for all beings to ascend together. Just because their ascension is not conscious to their human understanding does not mean it is not happening. Many souls serving the light are wanting all beings to progress and to move forward together. And so for those beings who do not wake up, it is possible that they could find themselves in a different space, staying in the third dimension while other beings progress into other dimensions. However, with your harmonized matrix that you have created and are creating, the purpose of this is for all to transcend the third dimension, for all to transcend polarity, for all to move forward in their path of ascension, for all souls have this opportunity for growth, and all beings have this opportunity for mastery. And so for some to be left behind, so to speak, this would only happen if all efforts fail to reach these beings, to reach these souls. And that is not the trajectory that you are currently on in your ease and grace timeline.
A client asks, how can one reach and assist these unawakened souls?
Yes, dear one, it is mostly through the essence or the being. To do your own personal inner work. And I say this to each being. To do your own personal inner work so that you may cleanse yourself of lower density vibrations, so that you may emanate and shine the light, so that you may be a beacon of light upon planet Earth. So whether it is expressed through words or simply through your beingness, those energies are emanating and reaching all souls at the energetic level. It is then up to them whether or not they respond to these frequencies and to these energies of light. Yes, it can also take form if you choose or decide to share your light in other ways, such as through tones or artwork or dancing or expressing verbally. But in truth, none of these are necessary, as it is the emanation of your essence and the light embodied therein that is most important. I thank you, dear one.